Hello everyone. Thank you guys for welcoming me back to my YouTube channel. Today is you guys that will welcome me back. I went for a very long holiday, but I am back and I'm very excited to be here today with all of us. And I don't want to promise because I always promise and fail, but let's see what God will take, where God will take us to. Let the Holy Spirit lead us. So today we are going to be talking about delivering in a government or private hospital. This is for people who are planning to give birth or mothers who are pregnant, and a lot of people struggle with where to go and give birth. I have so many people asking me, where do you think I should go and register for my antenatal? Should I go to government? Should I go to private hospital? Personally, it's your choice, because you can't say government hospital is totally bad or private hospital is totally bad. Some people have their reasons, but I have a few points here for you so you can just make your choice, and then I'll tell you my own personal experience with the private and the government hospital and what I plan to do next. We have number one. We are going with the private hospital. So the private hospital, number one, say you will have 80% choice to choose your doctor. If you go to a private hospital for antenatal, you pretty much have a choice to choose who your doctor should be. You can choose this doctor, that doctor. I want this one to attend to me. Maybe they can give you options. Let 3 or 4 doctors attend to you on 2 different occasions, then you know which one you prefer. You have that luxury in a private hospital. And then number 2, you will choose to stay in a private or a semi-private ward if you have the money. You choose the ward you want if you have the money, but they are quite a bit expensive. But you can choose to stay in a 1 room or rooms that they have 2 or 3 persons in after you deliver. Number 3, they don't keep you waiting in a private hospital. No matter how late you come, there's always someone to see you. They will make time, they will make provision for you to see a doctor immediately or just in the next 30 minutes. That's the maximum you can spend in a private hospital. But some are very expensive, especially those with different medical experts. If you go to private hospital, especially those that have different medical experts, they are very expensive. So sometimes people who don't have so much money don't have access to those kind of private hospitals, but there are still some that are quite affordable. Ahead of some, there are very good ones in Abuja that people are doing antenatal registration for 40,000, even 15,000, which are still very good. And if you go to National Hospital in Abuja, which is like a government hospital, antenatal registration is still 40,000 naira. And the next point said some are not so equipped to handle complex cases. There are some private hospitals that cannot handle complex cases, like maybe a woman just delivered and then they couldn't deliver her placenta and then she's bleeding excessively. Some hospitals can handle that. Some don't even have incubators, that if your baby is in an emergency situation, they will not be able to handle the baby. So sometimes when people see that, they're like, okay, what if my pregnancy is high risk? Sometimes things change at the delivery table. So what happens to me? So if you want to go to a private hospital and you have the money, it's better to go to the big ones that can handle your case, even if you have a situation. Nobody prays for a bad situation, but you never can tell. It's good to be ready. Number 7, say you have loved ones around when you are giving birth to comfort you. Like in a private hospital, you can have your loved ones in your ward, in the labor room, to stay with you, to comfort you. Some people even want their partners, their husbands, to stay with them while they are delivering. The last one say some private hospitals, you don't have access to different experts. In some private hospitals, you don't have access to different experts because they don't have that much of doctors. Sometimes it's just 1 doctor or 2, so you don't have access to, like maybe this is a gynecologist, this is a general practitioner, this is gastrointestinal doctor, something like that. They don't have. So if you are going to a private hospital, you know that this is what you're expecting, especially the small ones. And then we have government hospitals. Going to a government hospital to do your antenatal / delivery of your baby, you can wait for up to 5 hours, especially if you go around 8 a.m. or later than 8 a.m. You are there, you meet like 50, 70, even you might even be number 150. Don't be surprised. And you stay there till 4 p.m. That's the number one thing with the government hospital. And number two, they are better equipped to manage complex health issues. If you have a complication, they can handle it better. Maybe you have a situation where they need a heart doctor. They don't need to transfer you to another. They just call the consultant to come that this woman just delivered and her heart is failing, and that's what they do to you. They need a neonatal doctor that will take this baby to the NICU to take care of the baby. You have those on ground. Nobody is going to put in an ambulance to transfer you. That you get in a government hospital. And then they are very, very affordable. They are very affordable. There are some government hospitals that even CS is 50,000 naira. But you hardly get that in a private hospital. When you go to private hospital, they're talking CS from 350,000, as if you want to buy a land in my village. Number 5, in most government hospitals, you don't have the opportunity to choose your preferred ward. I don't want to say most, some, in short, all government hospitals, you don't choose a ward. They put you in the one that is available. And most times, the one that is available have 12 beds. If you are lucky, 6 beds. And then you stay there for 2 or 3 days before they discharge you. So it's very, very uncomfortable. You don't have privacy, but then it is something to manage and go home with your baby. The staff are always overwhelmed with crowd and work, so you hardly find a nice staff. Most of the time, I just said, when you go there, you see you can be a number 150, and then different women come with their different challenges, and the staff, sometimes they are not even enough. Few ones that are there, they are so overwhelmed with crowd, with work, and they are not nice at all. Sometimes they are so harsh, not because they are wicked, but because they are tired. Even as a parent at home, when you are tired, you get tired of your children, sometimes you overreact. You get that a lot in government hospitals, especially the nurses. The doctors, hardly, but some people have experiences with doctors that are not nice, but mostly you get that with the nurses. You are attended to by different doctors, in short, the ones available on duty. You go for antenatal in a government hospital today, and then a different doctor attends to you. You go the next week, you see a different doctor. For me, I see that as good and bad at the same time. The good aspect of it is, if for a couple of times you've been meeting doctors who are not so experienced in that field, the next time you go, you might be lucky to see a doctor that will look at your case and say, who has been attending to you? This woman needs this, that, and that, which is good on your part. And then the bad side of it is, if you happen to get a good doctor and then the next time you get people who are not so good in that area, then that's how they keep transferring you. And then some people don't even know your history because their computers are not so good, they are not coming up, so you need to mind. Some women don't even know anything concerning their pregnancy history, so that's how you sit and look at the doctor and he forged things. They might even change your drugs. Some women are special cases, but because they didn't attend to you the other time, and then their computer is messing up, or they didn't bring your previous result that you were supposed to bring, and then things are just scattered, and sometimes it's not so good. You don't have the right to ask any question unless you want to make the health practitioners angry. You go to a government hospital, you are just there to take anything they do to you. If you ask questions, you are a rude patient. Except you want to make your practitioner very angry that you know too much. They don't want you to know too much. You have to be naive when you are in the private hospital. That's where I have problem with them, and that's where they always have problem with me, because I ask questions, I talk too much, especially when I'm seeing you doing the wrong thing. I have to talk because I don't want to die. So they always have problem with me, and then the patients are constantly apologizing to the staff. In government hospital, it's the patient that is apologizing to the staff. Unlike private hospital that they always say, oh, sorry, oh, how do you feel? In government hospital, you are the one who will tell the nurse or the doctor that, oh, you're sorry. I'm sorry for being sick, you know. You tell your doctor, you're sorry for being sick. because that's what happened in government hospitals. So now has brought us to the end of the comparison. But personally, I did my first antenatal with my first child with a private hospital, which was very, very good. I had access to the doctor I want, and I'll go there in 30 minutes time. I'm there. Sometimes people who were on HMOs, they will go there and they will keep them waiting, but because I paid for myself, I was a private person. As soon as I get there, they call my doctor for me and I'm seeing my doctor. But then I delivered my son in a government hospital. So they were not so bad, but they were not as nice as what I got in the private hospital. So with my second baby, I just decided that let me just go to the government hospital, because in Abuja here, anything mother and child, they take you to national hospital. No matter where you go to, if you have any difficulty, you go, they take you back to national hospital. So I said, okay, let me just stay with them and manage them. And I went for antenatal like 2 times, and then coronavirus came, so I was at home until it was, I think I went back to the hospital to say come for scan on Thursday, and then I fell into labor on Wednesday, and then I went back and I delivered. So it was not so bad, but still you can make your choice. It's not like government hospitals are totally bad. There are so many advantages, and it's not as if private hospitals are so good, because they still have their own disadvantages. So it's a matter of choice, preference. What do you prefer? Some people register their antenatal in the private and government hospitals and then decide to choose which one. So let nobody deceive you that government hospitals are very bad. Some people will tell me that when you go to national hospital you die. Let me tell you what happens to national hospitals. People go to other places. When their case is now critical and they can't treat them, they now send them to national. Some people even die at the gate. But when somebody die at the gate and they call and they say, where did he die? They'll say, where? National hospital. Is it not national hospital? Yeah, the person died. Some people just come before they will even insert the drip, they have gone. Some people stay for a few days, but because you didn't go there the first day, then they can't treat you because they have so many people. And then if you were there the first day, they will manage your case. So nobody should deceive. If you want to deliver in a government hospital, just go with your full chest. I can afford any private hospital I want, but I choose to go to national hospital. Why? Because I want to be in safe hands. I don't mind anybody getting angry. That's your problem. The fact that you are toxic does not mean me and my child should be affected. So do what you think is good for you, not what people are saying. So that is the end of our video. If you are new here, my name is Blessing Sule, aka the Fertile Mom. Welcome, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we will be bringing you more beautiful content like this. And then I'm a health coach, I'm a fertility coach, I'm a STEAM expert, and then we help people who are trying to conceive naturally through lifestyle changes and adjustments, supplements and multivitamins that help them improve their chances to conception at 80%. And then we teach them how to select the sex of their child, how to know exactly when they're ovulating so that they can meet their husband at the right time. We teach them how to avoid pregnancy naturally. And all that happens on Instagram. I'll link it down at Fertilemoms. You can follow me on Instagram, and then when you go to my Instagram, you see a link in my bio. You send me a message on WhatsApp. Then we'll talk about everything conception, but here we bring you content about motherhood, business, how women can develop themselves. Everything about motherhood and in between is going to be fun. So stay with us, and we'll see you again in our next video. Bye.